So I know that I was supposed to. Well, my bad guy. Oh, I guess we're gonna start recording. Uh,
Don't feel too
it,
nervous, man. This is
uh
your first
Your feet
podcast?
slowly get bigger.
no, this is not my first podcast.
Oh,
I'll, I'll just start. I'll just start the call. I'll just start the podcast going, and we'll go from there. So, hey guys, this you know what this is. This is the Basic New Experience. As you know, I'm the host with the most that looks like a ghost. Which that is the greatest intro of all time. Don't at me, bro. No, I'm joking. I'm joined by a local progressive acid rock band. Correct? If
Lit.
that's
I've
lit.
never heard that.
uh,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So I'm with the progressive
those
acid
labels
rock.
are like
Say it again.
those are labels are like actually.
Progressive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Progressive acid.
Yeah,
Because that's how you guys sound when I listen to your music. Like this is how it is.
Yeah, dude. It's like acid with like a little bit of like a nicotine high.
It
It's-
took a lot more than just acid, though.
Dude, my
It's-
dad's seen a fucking biopic on shrooms. He's like, y'all must have been on some drugs.
Mhm.
Yeah. We throw the void. But anyways,
No, you're good. I'm joined by. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. But I'm sure I'm not the first and last to say this wrong. It's a Corazon Rabioso. I'm kind of white, so I
Rabioso.
can't. Rabioso. Thank you,
Yeah.
Lewis. Because I'm pretty white, so or gringo, so I can't really. My Spanish
That's okay.
isn't fuego, but
neither is mine.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, you know what? Better not to be a loner. So I'm joined. I'm joined with the with the band because I want to talk about a couple things with you guys. Nothing too long. No Joe Rogan or Joey Diaz. We talk for like 3 hours straight. Something chill because I don't think the people want to listen to. I know people have like a time of the world right now. Well, actually, I don't know because now Miami's gonna open up Monday.
Sure.
But anyway, I thought we'd just talk about a couple things music related. I thought we'd talk about worst gig that we've performed. I know because I recorded an episode, but unfortunately Skype didn't want to keep that, so we have to try again. So I figured we'd talk about that again, and then I figured we'd talk about an album that each of us are listening to right now. If that I think is cool. So
One? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I would need to get my Spotify for that. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
I do.
I mean, if there's like 2 or 3 you want to mention, it's fine. I don't want you to like be like the one because like I have
What
like
was the question again? My shit disconnected real quick.
You're froze.
I'm for real.
We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about the worst gig that we've ever performed, what that was like, and
Oh,
what
man.
album or albums that you're currently listening to right now, like 2 or 3.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me think here. Who wants to start?
Well,
With the
do we
worst
do
gig?
ourselves or not?
Let's start
Oh,
off
yeah.
with worst gig. Let's start with worst gig, and then we'll go into the albums because I feel like the worst
Okay.
gig it's pretty self-explanatory. Because
Worst gig
I'm
as a band.
oh no, any and if it doesn't have to be you guys, it could be like your personal worst experience.
True.
Oh boy. Oh, that's good. Okay.
We can do worst band?
No, like gig. I mean, we
No,
could.
no, no.
I mean,
No, no,
Your
no, no.
worst gig of all time.
Yeah,
oh
like
yeah, your
as
personal.
okay, what was your worst gig, Pierre? Actually, I'm really curious about this. I don't remember.
Okay, I mean that's a good question. Like, I mean, outside of the band, I own. Fuck. Okay, so I remember. Okay, yeah. So I had another band called The Wave.
Oh,
Which-
you
cool
should have
name.
put them out on blast now.
I forgot
Oh,
we're
I'm
recording.
Wait,
Well, I guess it's already there. So yeah, I mean,
fine.
it's
we love
like,
you,
it
Wave.
wasn't-
You're amazing.
It didn't
I've
even.
never heard of
Okay,
you, but
actually,
you're
no. I'm lying. Actually, no. It wasn't The
Oh, it's
Wave.
not
Nah,
the
he's,
band.
It was
no, he's trying to
actually-
cover his
it was-
ass. No,
No,
don't
no,
go
no,
back.
no. No, I remember this was what led up to the formation of The Wave. Actually, so this was actually. It was sometime. I was about to end. I think 11th grade. No, I think I was about to graduate. I think. What the fuck? Yeah, I was about to graduate. And so my friend hits me up and she's like, yo, I have this gig in 2 weeks and my school booked it and it's for like this thing called Shark Pack or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, it was called Shark Pack. And so what it is that it's like
That
this
sounds
musical
like a
group.
Lunchable toy. The Shark
Dude.
Pack.
Dude,
Shark
yeah,
What the hell?
for real. Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off. It was just like,
dude,
what
yeah,
the-
no, I feel that, dude. It was an interesting name, but like, it's
But
it's
continue.
Cutler Bay. It's Cutler Bay.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
So yeah, like they had a gig booked in 2 weeks, and the person who was supposed to play bass for that gig, who goes to the school, dropped out of that gig, and my friend was like, "Hey, Pierre, I know you go to Miami Arts Charter, but can you play bass in a fucking Cutler Bay fucking high school gig?" And so yeah, anyways, we had a 2-hour set actually, I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I had to learn 2 hours worth of like covers in 2 weeks.
Was it like
Oh,
easy
this-
was it easy covers or was it like
It
pretty
was
like
boomer
intense?
covers. It was boomer covers. It was
Boomer covers. Oh my
so
god.
like it was mostly easy. Like I think the hardest one was Oh Darling because like
Oh, Darling is a
fucking-
great bass line.
Oh
Yeah.
dude, yeah, that's why it was so hard. Paul McCartney was like really good, and the worst part is because I only had 2 weeks, we were able to have stands up because
Oh, no.
fuck it, I don't care, dude. I had 2 weeks. You're gonna give me a stand because I'm gonna
Alright.
read that shit off of that shit. I don't care.
Right.
So I literally had Ultimate Guitar up on my phone on the stand.
Wait, in front of how many people?
Dude, it was in this fucking. It was like down in the Keys, like way down.
Wait, I forgot. Was this a school thing or was it like just a gig?
It wasn't. It was a gig that the school
okay.
booked. It was someone who works for the school. It's Shark Pack.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay,
Shark Pack
okay.
is a part of the school. The club booked, I should say, actually.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So
But continue.
So yeah, it was a bar. It was at this like bar. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's a famous one. Like if people who live down there fucking talk about it, they'll probably mention at some point.
If there's
So
any
anyways-
if there's any Key West listeners, please drop a comment below.
Or something.
Something, I'm not sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
drop a thumbs up for my story.
For
Anyways.
his old darling performance.
Does it say you
Dude,
were
for my
cool?
Oh Darling. Anyway, so yeah, I remember having to learn like sight read Oh Darling because that was the one that I practiced the least. And anyways, Night Moves was in that set. We did not practice Night Moves once.
Oh.
I didn't even know Night Moves was in the set.
Bruh.
I didn't even know how Night Moves went.
Bruh.
Damn.
You
I
what
felt
the
that
best part
though.
hey,
is?
just play
No, no,
Open
no, no, no,
String.
no, 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 no. You know
That's
what the
it.
best part was? You know
You
what the
just,
best part
that's
was?
all you need to do.
You know what the best part was? Nobody did.
Oh.
Nobody knew the song.
Well,
Nobody
that's
knew
what
the
you call
song.
a free
So
form
we tried
jam
playing
session.
it anyways.
So
And
the whole band was sight reading.
They were all
No.
fucking different keys.
nobody knew what the rhythm of the verse was.
So who was the fucking
I
rocket
hate-
scientist that put that shit on the list?
That's That's why I said I was like on stage playing the song, and I was like, why did we let this stay on the set? And why did we not skip this song once we got to it?
Was
yeah,
there a lot
wait,
of
wait,
Wait,
why
literally,
couldn't the
let me
singer
tell
just
you.
look at you and be like, nah?
No. We kind of like, here's the thing. Here's what we did.
What'd you do?
Verse, singer mumbled the lyrics or whatever to non-specific tempo. We kind of played a groove, rock groove. Something night moves. Dun, dun.
Was there like anybody there
Go
at
back to
the thing?
verse. Dude, yeah. Oh yeah.
How many people?
My parents.
Oh no.
That's enough.
Everyone's parents. And
Like-
also, I'm pretty sure that the bar was like something like near a hotel. So
Oh.
like boomers starting their day drinking at noon, you know.
How many
'Cause
like
they're
how many
retired.
how many people would you say like you could like what's like a rough number that you could think of how many people were there?
50 to 75 maybe.
Oh, that's
Like
oh,
it was a nice
wow.
it was a nice crowd, you know, because it was like nearing the summer. It was like a springtime kind of thing, you know. So, boomers in the springtime, they love their
Man.
TikTok and they love night moves. So we played night moves, and we did that. We played one verse, a chorus, back to the verse, mumbled that da-na-na-na, night moves, and then, we kind of like ended it like da-na-na-na, like some whatever non-specific ending. And that song right there managed to ruin the entire 2-hour experience for me.
Damn.
How was the other songs though? Were they fine?
They were fine. They were
It's just that
fine.
one
No,
song.
but like
Here's
something
the
like
thing.
that,
Here's
yeah.
the thing. They were all fine. And that that was the longest like 3 minutes of my life probably.
But like the
And everyone's. And so, like, I mean, it's just like
Was it
it's
the last
worst-
song
when
or
they
like
get to the
the
point of
worst
like,
gig.
yo, like
I would
let's
say
just
that
cut
made
this
it the
off.
worst gig.
You're not gonna stop.
Oh,
And rip Pierre.
Yeah,
rip the Homestead connection, bro.
dude. For
Rip the homes. He just
real.
froze.
He's looking 1,000-yard stare.
Legit froze.
I can't even see him. I just see the letter C, and I don't see his face at all.
I just see him froze.
Wi-Fi's been acting up lately. Anyways, I would say that was the worst gig, only because like that was the only gig where nobody knew the song. Every other gig that I played, everybody like had a mess up. Like you'd mess up a part or something. Like I mean, I had like even gigs with this band where I messed up a part, and like even then, it's like nothing.
I think that's the worst of it. Really.
There's nothing like ruining an entire track, like that's the thing. Like
No,
it's
Pierre,
something
Pierre.
to mess up pieces of a song. It's something to have like no audience. It's something to have like bad like bookers or whatever. But like, man, like
Dude, here's the thing. You probably had a couple of songs beforehand, and everybody was like, "Oh, they're fine," and then you just fuck
was
it
the
up to the
middle
ground.
of the set. It was like the middle of the set. I remember.
I
Like,
think
that
that's
was,
the
like-
best place for it.
True.
I'm gonna argue that because one thing I learned a lot from like doing these shows is that the first and the last song is what people usually tend to remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if your first song is absolute no one cares. Even if the rest of your set is amazing, no one gives a shit if your first song
Yeah.
is like garbage.
Yeah.
Same thing with your last song, even.
I feel that.
Like with your last song, there's no correcting it, and like people just go home being like, "Oh, that's all right, band." Even if you're,
Yeah.
And I feel that. That's how I
Oh.
felt with seeing Motley Crue. I'm not gonna lie.
well,
Bro,
You
I
saw Motley Crue.
Yeah, I saw them in their last concert.
Yeah.
how
Yeah, they're touring again. I'm pretty sure.
I thought they were done.
They were supposed to. I think.
but
Oh,
those bills aren't gonna get paid
I
themselves.
heard about it.
My mom
I
was gonna
heard
go
about
see
it.
them.
Yeah,
That got
I was
canceled.
talking to my teacher about it.
But I thought they were done.
Me too.
That's how it is with all the bands, bro.
Everyone's
Every
Mr.
single
Crab.
No, I think like Slayer's done. I think they're done.
no Slayer.
No,
It'd be so
dude,
sad if they got back together for another show, bro.
No,
Yeah.
the way that they ended it, like Tom Mariah, like I saw him in an interview on Loudwire. He was like, "Dude, I haven't seen my kids grow up. I need to see my grandkids grow up and make it up to them." He said he would get like 4 hours of sleep a night, and he just
That's
said he
crazy.
couldn't take it anymore. But
How does a band do
said-
that to you?
For real.
no, I don't know. It's the travel sometimes.
I guess
Maybe-
the touring.
like-
Maybe the touring.
Yeah,
It's a touring, like it's like I was just listening to Joe Rogan, like they're saying like flying like 4 o'clock in the morning or just going to different places in the same day. Sometimes it's just driving. Sometimes it's just the tour itself that wears you down. Then you gotta worry about people being assholes, like throwing shit on stage and spreading corona. No, I'm joking. But they're
Yeah, dude.
but
Spreading
people are,
Corona in
you know,
1994.
bruh, like imagine. I hate to say it, but like it's interesting. Like imagine if Corona was in a different timeline, like in the
Yeah.
80s or like the 50s.
I mean, they've had freaking outbreaks of shit before. It's just people weren't that like fucking crazy about it.
No, people were definitely that fucking crazy about it. It's just like you don't get to see examples of people going that
All
fucking.
right.
Well,
It's
there's
like
been worse outbreaks in the past. Like
So
I remember
far.
there was one shit, fucking H1N1 or something. Like back when, like
Yeah, but
Or swine
H1N1
flu
didn't
or
kill
whatever
nearly
that
as
was.
much.
Yeah,
Right?
no, I
like
never got
That was
bad.
within our
I was
lifetime.
chilling.
it was definitely more deadly though.
No, I was
but
chilling.
then there's like the Spanish flu, which was
People were
like
chilling, though.
devastating. Oh my god,
Yeah,
this
no,
man.
there was the Spanish flu, which you read some of the stuff from back in that timeline. That's actually like apocalyptic as shit.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
crazy. That was like millions.
that's like
But
the
yeah,
That was
plague,
entire
like
like
90% death rate. Like
well, what would
Yeah.
end up happening is that because first of all, people wouldn't be able to test themselves.
Yeah.
And second of all, they wouldn't travel nearly as much. You would instead of this thing of like Corona where you get like just people all over the map, you get just entire towns wiped out.
Yeah.
So you could visit
Yeah.
like a town in Spain. There's no one. It's Fallout type
It's for
shit.
real sake.
Dude, wow.
Like that's what I'm saying though.
It's for people on Facebook to be like, you can live here for $1,000 and live a simple life.
the Airbnb, the fucking dead houses.
God, I remember that. Like people would be like, you can like go to school for free in like Sweden or something and live like a better life or whatever.
Yo, I want to,
Posting about that on Facebook.
But
but I
let-
also want
let's-
to live in a country where people handshake. It's just
Mm.
Everyone
that.
should answer.
well, hopefully we can join hands and go on to this next. I would like for Lewis to, because he plays gigs. He's a gig whore. He'll play any gig that he wants to.
Fucking slut.
And
Yeah.
he's the
2
the
gigs
opposite
in one
of
night.
He's the opposite of a simp. Like he'll.
Oof.
I'm joking.
Nah.
I'm joking.
Nah.
I'm joking.
no, I'm totally a simp because I'll be like, I'll hit up bands and be like, please let me play, please, a crumb of gig. But
Yeah, what's like
honestly, I
the
used to be like that.
worst
I used to be
gig?
like worse.
Bruh, every show you go to, you're like talking to the bandmates, you're like, yo, so is this a show?
Yeah,
Every
I
single-
just that shit because I
yeah.
cannot bring myself. I just
But he gets shows, so
yeah, I guess shows like I will fucking
can't complain.
vacuum my words.
Right, just you gotta just unbutton your shirt real quick and then
You're just like,
that's how the show go.
That's
But
it.
on some
The
real
bag.
shit, oh, what's the worst one? I think the worst one, probably the Churchill's one. My first Churchill's experience. And by the way, Pierre, your thing of like messing up on one song, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh.
If you start off punk, you start off
Damn.
punk and not knowing the chords. That's amateur hour.
Damn.
Right?
You can take that
3
Pierre.
minutes. 3 minutes of wanting to
I'll
die.
definitely
Try
take that.
20.
I
Try
believe
20.
him.
Uh,
I believe that like he's
Mostly-
probably had a gig where the whole set was bad.
I've had several where the whole set is bad.
Oh
And
no.
that's what happens because like what I did when I first started playing guitar is that the second I got like just barely 25 minutes of content, I was like, we got to do a show. Even if it was 25 minutes in which those 10 minutes was like, I don't care. We're going to have a noise section right here. All right.
Wow.
That's like, that's
Nothing has changed.
nothing.
Dude,
Absolutely,
nothing has
absolutely
changed.
nothing. With this band actually, before Erica joined, you know how many times we played together as a band before our first show? Take a wild guess, Elliot. Take a wild guess at my recklessness.
4.5.
Not even close.
Maybe.
20.
No.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just one
Yeah.
time with the drummer. Because what ended up happening is like all of our schedules kept on conflicting. So we would have trio practices all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, I need you guys to be able to coordinate for just one practice. And it did it like a week before the show.
Mm.
It was good.
It was I had a ton of fun either way. That show wasn't bad. The show I'm gonna talk about, the Churchill's one, this was maybe my somewhere between 5th and 10th show, like somewhere there.
Okay.
And this was back when I was in high school, and I was in a band called Fuzzadelic.
It was called what? Funkadelic? Fuzzadelic?
Fuzzadelic, because there's a band
Playing
called
it right now. You can
Funkadelic,
check it out.
Yeah,
which is amazing, by the way. They're such an amazing rock band, and they get slept on all the time because they were all black. They're not,
Oh,
the
Funkadelic.
standard-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your band was Fuzzadelic with
Fuzzadelic.
F-U-Z-Z.
and we got shitted on
Yeah.
proper because we sucked.
Okay. What's with all the fuzz?
Dude.
Fuzz? I just really liked distortion at the time. Like I still loved like the sound of like a ridiculously distorted guitar and feedback. Like that was the thing I was going for. I wanted to combine that with like the psychedelia part, so it's fuzzadelic. And
Gotcha.
what we end up having this show, and we wouldn't be good, and I'd still be a really mean band leader. Like I'd be absolutely ruthless with other people. And because of that, we went through I don't know how many bandmates. And at the time, the two that stuck around was me and my boy Nav. And what we would do is that I would play drums for his songs. He would
Not
play
the
drums for
rapper.
mine. No, not the rapper. Nav the Gator.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But we then had we finally got a show at Churchill's, and we were super excited because we were hardcore punk kids, and we were like, fuck yeah. Show at church, the
God bless.
first
Bless you.
punk
Thank you.
venue
Thank you.
of Florida, right? Of the South, even. Right? We were so ready. I don't know how, because we booked this because Nav booked it. But we ended up being on the bill of like 20 other bands. It was like a big festival of sorts.
Wait, was there really 20 bands? Jesus.
Bro, you know how Churchill feels. You know.
Oh, I don't know. My
Churchill's.
time at Churchill's, it'll be like 5 bands, but then like, of course, it always starts late because
Well,
the band
with
doesn't want
touring
to
bands,
go
of
up on
course.
time.
But like, there's like festivals and shit, you know.
Right. That's true.
Yeah,
But,
so like we were
continue.
part of like some punk festival, that we got added, and we were like the first band, right? Because we didn't have any demos, we didn't have any following. We just got a new bassist, and this is where fun starts. So
Oh.
with this bassist, he I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stray away from names because I don't feel like that's really fair. I also don't feel like he's even doing music, so there's no point.
Do you still talk to them?
To Nav, I do. That's about it.
Okay. I mean,
From time to time, I'll catch up with what was our drummer for a period of time, Matt, and what was our bassist for a period of time, which was Gianni. They're both cool. I don't think they're focusing on music anymore. Matt has gone on to be an engineer, and
cool.
Gianni has gone on to be a Broadway actor, actually.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a lad.
But pretty much from what happened is that we got the Churchill's gig, and we were practicing with this new bassist, and this new bassist he would not show up to practice and then say it was grounded. That would become relevant.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That would become relevant later. And he would there was one practice they broke the bass by tuning it.
Oh no.
But we
that
kept it
out.
around because his bass lines were super creative. He had a better ear than both me and Nav combined. But that's not saying much because I'm absolutely tone deaf. And what ended up happening is that he didn't show up for the practice the weekend before the show because we would have weekly practice every Saturday. And I didn't hear from him. And then he's like, bro, let's do the show. And I was feeling really uneasy because we weren't really ready with songs. And that's saying a lot for me. All right. Like, it was not good. There was a lot of new songs too because we now just got a bassist. So we wrote songs for having bass instead of being guitar drum duo. And we practiced Thursday before the show. And because he really insisted on it, he still wanted to do a show. He practiced 6 hours, my dude. 6 hours. Freaking
Jesus.
30-minute punk set, right?
That's crazy.
He was super excited about bringing his entire family and like all of his friends. Like he was more pumped than I was. All right, and then the day of the show comes.
Oh, no.
I meet up at my boy Nav's house because that's what I do. Early because that's what I do. But you know, I started getting uneasy. And I text him because I didn't hear from him. No response. Then I leave a few voice messages, like as the hours continue, because we were supposed to meet up at Nav's house around 4, and I showed up at 2. I texted him and was like, "Hey man, when you getting here?" Right? And then by around 6, which was the time we had to leave, I already left like 2 voice messages and be like, "Hey man, just at least make sure you come to Churchill's, right?
Right.
Or else, like, you know, like I don't know what to tell you, but like you can't be doing this band shit." And we show up, and the booker is there, and he told us to show up at I think 6:30. So we raced, like we freaking flew all the way to Churchill's, and he's like, what you call it? Doors open at 7. So we waited in the parking lot till 7. Then they open up. They would check our IDs all the time, even though we were specifically underage, and we had the markings of underage on our hands.
Right.
That was annoying. That was annoying.
Bro, Churchill's is no, Churchill's isn't the worst with that shit. But I won't be calling out venues in this specific podcast.
I'm not gonna call out venues.
No, you
Just
can do it later. You
wait.
can do it for your show, actually. No, not your show. Your response. So we're like putting our equipment, and then we're like, "Where's the sound guy?" And it's like, the sound guy coming at 8. Sound guy doesn't show up till 8:30. Then we're like, and we were told we were gonna start at 8. By the way, want to be very specific. And then we like talk to the sound guy, like, hey man, like we rushed to him because we're jits and we're like super excited to play, despite the fact that our bassist has yet to contact us.
Right.
I'm like, screw it, it's Churchill's, we're gonna do it anyway. And what you call it? The dude was like, let me stop you right there. Let me get a few drinks in me, and then I'll start saying up. And he freaking goes to the bar and gets like a few beers, and like just
because he could.
just because who's gonna anger the sound guy?
Right.
Like everyone knows on the flyer it says music at 8. No one is gonna try the sound guy.
Damn.
So we honestly start sound check at around 9:30.
Okay.
Sound check runs for half an hour because I don't know what he was doing. Like he kept on going back and forth.
30 minutes should take like what, 10 minutes?
It could take a good 15, but we're like legit. Well, it would take a good 15 for us, like the 4-band
Okay.
setup.
Right.
For me and a drum, no, I don't need that, right? Especially if I'm gonna change my tone every freaking song, and especially because we're fuzzadelic. We were like the band that doesn't care about too much feedback. Like that was the idea. And yeah, because I really did think the bassist was gonna pull through. Nav definitely had no faith in him whatsoever. I had way too much optimism. It's like, bro, well, maybe because like I practiced with him for 6 hours, and he's like, he seems really hype to cancel last minute, right?
Right.
Anyway, we played our set. We played like at twice the speed because I'm so nervous because it's Churchill's and it's packed.
Yeah.
It is by far my biggest show at that point. It was maybe like a good 50 people, 60 people. And then we always enter set with what you call it? Voodoo Child.
Mm.
And there was a bassist I was talking to before the show that was like, that I told that to, and I was like, man, we won't be able to play that because like our bassist like is not here. And then he's like, man, I'll play it if he doesn't show up.
Oh, cool.
And he gets on stage, but like this sound guy literally grabs the mic that he has in the soundboard all the way in the back. Like he's like right in front of us, like behind the crowd. And he like grabs, he's like, You guys can't be doing that. It's not your living
Oh,
room. You can't just be jamming on stage.
oh
There's
no.
bands to play, you know. Like you sound so.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Into like
Wow.
the system that has like the voice.
Telling everyone.
Everywhere.
That sounds like
You just
Bobby.
blew
You need to
your
go to
mic out, dude.
It
Yeah,
sounds
you
like
just, you
Bob.
just blew it out. I'm sorry.
It
I
sounds
think you
like
should.
Bobby. It sounds like Bobby. You need to go to the principal's office. Like what the fuck? Like,
Right now.
Yeah, you're
no,
good
that's
now.
Yeah,
Louis,
fucked.
you just broke your microphone.
It's fucked.
Is it? Louis, if do this, we'll fix it.
No, man, unplug that
Well,
shit.
it's
we're having some technical difficulties. Please bear with us.
Dude,
His mic shitted.
yeah.
Oh damn, that's it.
You know what? It's representing of like
Rip
That you
Louis.
that you suffer for your art.
my patience.
Dude.
And I legit
There.
when he says you guys can't do that, I was legit gonna be like look at the bass and be like, no, right? But as soon as he said this isn't your fucking living room, I was like, maybe it is. And I fucking and I brought up the dude up, and we did 10-minute Voodoo Child because I didn't care, right? I was like, I don't care. It was a 2-minute freaking like feedback section.
Right.
I didn't
yeah.
care. The bassist was going hard.
hell
And
yeah.
I want to shout out the bassist because he's still doing music to this day.
That's guys.
Hold up. I know his first name is Lucas, and I follow him on Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah, because years later, at a house show in which Dark Hearts played, which was a band I played bass for, I told this story. And the dude just looked at me and was like, bro, was this in like 2000, was this in 2016? I was like, yeah, I was the bassist. And it like blew me away. I was like, no way.
Holy shit.
Imagine if you talk shit on the bases.
That's so gas.
Lucas Lamenko.
Okay.
Flamenco.
Lucas,
Was the crowd like good that night? Like, did they say like I'm just curious, how was the crowd when they hear like?
the crowd responded way too well to it.
But it doesn't sound like it was bad. I mean, maybe it sounded bad, but it just sounded like it was a good experience at the end.
Here's the thing. It was a good experience, but it was bad in the sense that the set sucked up to Voodoo Child.
Oh, okay.
Because we were doing a bunch of songs that we wrote specifically like with bass parts in mind. Keep in mind we weren't really well practiced.
Fun.
Especially because both me and Nav just got used to playing drums with the bass in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it was just a mess up to Voodoo Child. And Voodoo Child was a planned mess. People liked it, but I just wanted to say, like, it was bad in the sense that, like, it's just like it wasn't what I planned.
Right.
It wasn't like my art came to fruition. Because, like, I bet you, like, walking out of that show, no one could could recognize a single one of our tunes. And then afterwards, the story doesn't end. Afterwards,
Oh no.
on Snapchat, on story, Saturday morning, I saw him on a Snapchat story. Guess what? Partying in Miami. Like at some like fucking penthouse in Miami. And I was like,
Listen, he practiced for 6 hours. He more than made up for it.
Dude, yeah, he practiced. He
and
practiced, Lewis. Come on. You so ungrateful. What the hell? He practiced 6 hours.
he also lied to me and said he fixed the bass that he broke, which he
Was
didn't.
it? Is it the 3-string bass that's in
There's
your
still a
garage?
Bass in my garage.
Oh,
It's-
fun fact for the audience. Fun fact for the audience. Fun fact of little piece of CR trivia. The first song on our upcoming album, City Living Night Drinking, the bass line was actually wrote on that bass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The bass line was written on that bass.
Yeah, so yo,
And
can you do me a fucking walking bass line on this 3-string bass?
on a 3-string bass, and I was like, okay, well, sure.
Okay.
And that's why the only time in that song that I use the G string is at the very end for literally like 3 chords. That's it.
Were you wearing a G string?
I hope. I
Oh,
forget.
baby.
These are the questions that the fans are going to be wondering.
Yeah,
You
you
know-
know, they could be like, "What are you really wearing?" Yeah.
Oh well, they can find out my social media and ask me personally what I'm wearing. I could tell them. I'm a pretty open book. If people want to know.
They can make their fan art.
Yeah, bro.
That's right.
I want to have like
They give me the gifs.
I want to be like the American, no, Puerto Rican. I want to be like the Puerto Rican in America, like K-pop star that like
Yeah.
everyone on Twitter makes like gay fan art of.
Yeah,
that's
like they ship like Javi and Lewis.
If you want to draw me in gay shit, draw me with Solid Snake.
For real. We'll find that shit. Yeah.
I'm
So
straight, by the
I
way.
still haven't played Metal
Keyboard
Gear.
start. Keyboard start.
That's
What? You still haven't played Metal Gear?
no. You know why? Because I just have
P-pop.
is just yelling trivia to me. He has tried to tell me the entire story of Metal Gear. I don't know how many times.
Dude,
Who?
it's like 2.5 hours, 3 of like lore, you know?
The story?
Like to explain it all, it'll
really-
take like
it really
3
depends,
hours.
'cause the way that it works is that if you try to fucking explain Metal Gear Solid story, you can say the whole thing and make it understandable in like 30 minutes. But then every person gets excited in the one particular thing that they care about, and that shit fucking expands to 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
I
Yeah.
hate you guys so much because that's how Andreas explained
Once
it.
you get to the once you get to the
Listen, I'll make
intricate,
this podcast fucking Metal Gear. I don't give a shit.
5-hour Metal Gear podcast.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We're not doing that. It's
one-
okay.
one-
Rip.
No, it's too little for all the war.
Okay. Anyways, okay. So this isn't about Metal Gear. Oh, let's. Well, that's for a later podcast.
True.
Tell us about your worst gig.
Javi.
Okay, so the worst gig, I think, now that I really think about it and how everything went, it would be like a school gig. I was like 15 maybe, and here's the thing: there are some events in the school that I went when I was growing up that are mandatory. So the entire school was in that event, and it was like a fucking auditorium. So I want to say like 300 people. And the way that it was is that I had actually wrote some songs, and I got together with the music professor, and we were actually doing this whole thing that I wrote all the parts for the different students that were each learning the instrument. So we have like this chick playing the flute, and then this other dude playing the bass, and it was like great. We were just hanging out before the show, and there was this just this park with the fucking what's the word of the fucking thing in a park where kids like just spin and they can just
The
merry-go-round?
merry-go-round.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't.
so one of those. So we start fucking around with that, and then one of the kids I forget what he was playing. We just got him on the thing. He was like 2 grades before, so he was like
I think
smaller.
it's only.
Yeah, and we started spinning that shit like crazy until you cannot tell where he was. It was just a mush of a circle, and then he fucking flew out, hit his head on the pavement, and he started bleeding out.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And this
he
is
was
his
just
worst
like-
show ever.
No, he was just like this, and they just like took him to ER. So we didn't have it. I forget what he was playing, but we didn't have it anymore. And
Wow.
then in the commotion, the fucking chick's flute got stuck on the thing, and it was bent. It was a metal flute, like one of those. And so, oh, cool. I guess we are. Oh, it was a cajon. I guess we are the guitar and bass
God.
song. And we just
Your screen.
What? Okay, cool. And then
Wow.
there and fuck and later because we had like a break thing and then we had another piece with some girl that was singing. I was doing the guitar, and then what fucking happened is that some I think the grade above me just went behind the thing and they untuned the guitar. They just went all over like almost fucking broke the strings.
Oh my
And
god.
you know the thing is like I fucking tuned it before I left, so I just went in and that shit was out of tune, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? And yeah, I just played that shit super fucking out of tune for like 300 people, and they had to sit there and applaud when the shit was done because it's this cool event.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that shit
Oh,
was
that's
fucking awful, man. I just remember that shit because I have blocked the memory.
That
Bro.
is actually, oh my god,
That's
300 people. I think that you have us beat. 300 people is a lot.
Yeah, there was another show for 300 that I actually really fucking liked, but who cares about those?
True.
Yeah,
Stop
for real.
bragging, bro.
Okay. Erica, do you have any bad shows?
I was thinking, and I was like, now that I think of it, it's actually a school kind of one too. But like,
Oh yeah.
so at my school, like at South, they would do like each year they would do like one musical, so it would be like the band plus the drama, and so we'd play like the orchestra, like the pit orchestra, for that musical, and like usually they all went perfect. Like we would get the music, we'd learn it super fast. Like it was just like there was never a problem. The pit was always good.
Right.
Until like one year we had this one musical called Once on This Island, and it's an island themed musical, so the music is all just like Afro-Caribbean, like, you know, like there's not really that many instruments, like there's not many winds or anything, like, so everyone
Very
that like
percussive.
yeah, everyone that would normally play like winds was on conga, and like me being a percussionist, like I wasn't even like I was playing marimba and keyboard because they had like keyboard parts, they had marimba parts, like there was two keyboard parts. But the first keyboard part was like the main one, which basically runs the whole show. Like the first keyboard is the conductor in like professional pit. So if you don't have that one keyboard, the first keyboard part, you're just like it's just the whole thing's fucked.
Right.
It's like the melodic bass.
It's the chorus, it's the vocals, it's
Damn.
everything.
It's literally the
so-
voicing of the song. It's
Yeah.
like where like, you know,
It's
that's
the
why
entire thing.
composers write music on the piano.
The whole thing, there was just the piano, and my part too was super important because like mostly the first part was like the main stuff, but then sometimes it would switch, mine was the main one, or like, you know, but it was keyboard, congas, marimba, there was vibraphone, and then there was like little miscellaneous like winds, but that was just like, you know, there was like a one person doing all that, and then there was just bass obviously and guitar. Actually, was there even guitar? I don't even think there was guitar. It was just bass. But anyways, so like it was just for some reason that year shit was going super badly. Like no one was learning the music right. All the rhythms were fucking weird because it was Afro, like Caribbean stuff, and we were like just a bunch of white kids, so we couldn't play it. We couldn't play it.
There was no like poverty in the in
Yeah,
the
it's just like
sound.
Harry Clapton playing the
We couldn't
No
play it.
poverty.
There was no poverty in the
Damn.
groove.
Nah, but so Mr. Evans, like,
No heartbreak.
it, like I don't know, it got so bad to the point where like we'd go to practice after school and like Evans just couldn't teach us because we just all didn't know our parts. And like my part was hard as shit though because I had the piano parts. Like I was trying to learn it like super fast and like I was getting most of it, but like it was way close to the show, like the opening date. Like it was so stressful, bruh. And then like a couple days before the opening show, like probably like 5 days or like a week or something, we were having like a meeting with like the whole drama and the whole pit, and then like it just wasn't sounding good. And so Zembuk, with like the instructor, he's just like, listen, do y'all like really believe y'all can pull this together right now.
Damn.
Like for real, like we just had to have like he had to be like
Oh my
he went
God.
to every single individual person and was like,
Wow.
do you think we can do this? Do you believe that you can do this? Can you do? And like, you know, y'all know who they are, but like my one friend that was the keyboard player, he's going to every individual person. They're like, yes, we believe. Basically, fucking lying because they knew that shit was just ass.
Lying.
And so then like they get to my friend that plays the main keyboard part, and they go, honestly, I don't know because Mr. Evans doesn't believe in us. And how am I supposed to believe in myself if, you know, if he doesn't believe that we can do it, how am I going to believe? And then Zeba was just like, get out.
Then fucking whip
Fired them.
What?
And then we're just like, what are we going to do?
What if someone else said yeah? Like, is he just gonna like keep kicking out people of the orchestra?
It's just by himself.
He was ready.
He would literally be vibing in front of like the audience. No band.
No, a fucking recording.
Dude.
He was ready to go to tracks, like the shitty MIDI tracks that like come along with it that you practice to. He was ready to go to those.
Oof.
No way.
It would have been bad.
That gave me PTSD, bro.
But then like
they
have a breakdown, whatever, and like eventually like we had to hire a professional fucking piano player to play the part and learn it. So he just took an L. He just had to pay a man.
Wow.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, it was and that opening night it was really a mess. Dude. It was really a mess, but to be fair, it was better than I expected it to go just because of how like it just was bad.
Damn.
But then like eventually, because we probably had like 6 or 7 days of like playing that show, it got better near the end. But like it was I had to go out of my way, take all the congas and be like, listen, here's your part. This is how you play it. I had to straight up have like a sectional and just like teach them the parts.
That's
like,
crazy.
It was
That's crazy.
In the end though, it did like that opening night was just really bad because like stuff kept falling apart. But
I can imagine.
in the end, it did get good. Like I'm actually proud of how we got like from that. Like that was such a stressful time. I can't even with that. Like,
man,
wow,
that's wild.
Yeah,
that is wild. I'm sorry.
But
that's actually like I can't imagine like, and it's high school too, so you have like a low key. You're like way more anxious in high school because you have like the anxiety and social pressure of like sounding good. Because it's like because it's like the school vibe check, you know?
Yeah.
It's like this is how good I am at what I do, you motherfuckers. What's up? You know? And so like, because like the people that are bad at drawing will be like, it'll be like, oh, this person is like they're in the art program, but their art sucks, you know? So it's like your rep. That's wild. I feel that.
I just remembered the auxiliary percussion with like the wood blocks, like all the little wood block hits and like the cowbell hits were so off. And Mr. Evans, he'd just be conducting, he'd be like, like he'd make the stankest face at them, like he'd just be like. It was funny though, but I had to pick up their parts too. Like I straight up like rigged a fucking cowbell and a wood block and like a tempo block on the marimba, like, and I just stapled it. I had to play their like.
No.
I had to take over people's parts because they could not play.
Dude, a one-man band. You're gonna end up like those things like those people in the cartoons that have like the bass drum on the back and then like a bunch of strings everywhere.
Y'all just giving me more ideas.
Dude, yes, are you kidding me? I feel like that's what Jeff Magnum did writing in the Aeroplane, to be honest.
Yo, I actually saw Neutral Milk Hotel live.
Really?
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, you told me that was the best concert you saw.
It was the best fucking show I've ever seen.
Oh really?
To this day, it's the only one that legitimately gave me goosebumps. Pretty much all the way through.
Wow.
Like I was like, and the drum, bro, you wouldn't guess it from hearing the record, but the drummer goes in.
Really?
The drummer for Neutral Milk Hotel was going hard as fuck. And okay, like the part that really got to me and dead ass almost made me cry. Keep in mind, this was before I got obsessed with Neutral Milk Hotel. My friend invited me, so I decided to go because I was like, might as well see what at the time was like, oh, new core meme, ha ha ha, right?
Yeah.
And it was the last show.
The Potato album.
No, it was the last tour Neutral Milk Hotel was gonna do. And if there's any band to keep that promise, it's gonna be Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah.
Because Jeff Mangum just doesn't like being seen.
Yeah. He's a hermit, dude.
And I'm pretty much
make a living.
Are you recording,
the
man?
last song ends. And pretty much they take all the equipment off stage, right? Everything. The mic stands too, and everyone's like, encore, right? And this dude comes out with just the acoustic guitar.
Oh wow.
Just plugged in. No mic. Two-Headed Boy Part 2. The entire audience sang. It sounded like a medieval choir.
Dude.
Bro, it was so dog.
Peaking in that moment.
Dog, you can't see it, but I still get goosebumps thinking about it. That was in 2015. I still get goosebumps.
It's crazy. 2015, I tell everybody this. That was a crazy year, bro. When you think about 2015,
What you mean? What you mean by that?
Oh, dog. Musically, specifically, 2015 was crazy, bro. We had To Pimp a Butterfly drop.
You're right.
Album of the year. We had Rodeo drop.
Really?
Yo, for real. We had Rodeo drop. What was it? Pretty sure Alabama Shakes, dog. Alabama Shakes is they're cool. I fuck with them. I like them.
I fuck with it.
It's not something that I can be I can't see how. I just don't.
I mean, it's just some things that I have guilty pleasures. I like Astro Lounge by Smash Mouth. Sue me.
Damn.
Bro, he
said it.
I fucking knew it.
He said it.
I like that album.
He said it.
You meme too hard on it. I fucking knew it.
Nah, bro. That's a good album. What is it? I love Riff Raff's Neon Icon as well, bro. Everybody hates that.
Actually,
Everybody hates that, but it's
Actually, no. I fuck with it.
But yeah. Anyways, damn. I kind of lost my fucking original point into this wave of.
You guys ever heard a band that you're just you listen to it they're good, but they came from they've never had problems. I don't like this. They've never had problems.
What do you mean?
Jacob Collier.
True.
No, as
Jacob
in someone you listen to them, and they're good.
Their music is not sad enough.
Yeah, no, I'll give you an example. There's King Gizzard. They're just fucking. You actually told me about this, Louis. They're just fucking aliens in the monster because they're chill in Australia. They're okay.
Okay,
they're not gonna sing about fucking racial inequality. They got that shit. They're fine.
I can say King Gizzard at the very least. They were definitely bullied for being weird at some point.
True.
That's what I mean. But
but then they vibed it out.
Literally have never seen any adversity in their journey to be where they are, and I'm just I don't buy it. I don't buy it when you write songs about problems. I do not. You're that you said about the no poverty in the rhythm. I feel the no eggs, the no eggs in the lyric, it's oh you can literally is bro, you listen to the lyric, listening to some bands, and I'm just bro, you can literally go to a therapy office. They'll be you don't need us, go, leave.
Drake.
I actually feel that because a lot of the bands that I resonated the most when I was 18 or so, it were the protest bands from Venezuela when shit was going down the most. And then I would actually hear the disconnect from some of the local bands, which were just spoiled ass kids with money. They're just singing about, I don't know, man. But I remember just hearing that. It's
Being
like,
sad
wow,
about a girl that they
you,
broke
you,
up with.
you are not living, like, you are not living the situation that we're in. And I just hated it for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah,
Y'all never ate a rat, and it
I'll say
shows.
sad music, right? But like, cause like, there's happy music that I enjoy, obviously. Cause I'm not super jury. But like, you listen to Fela Kuti, you listen to like, what you call it, a lot of funk, a lot of soul, and you're still like,
Fucking Vampire Weekend, dude. It's all you need.
I, I still don't know how to feel about them.
Dude,
They're
you listen
cool.
to that shit and you feel rich.
yeah, I listen to that and I'm like, I feel
taste.
like my room is like has like LCD lights like lining it or whatever,
I
and like I have like a post like a flag that I bought off of like, I don't know, Etsy, hanging in my room.
Dude, fucking Etsy.
Vampire Weekend, bro. Yeah, they're like Tumblr core white girl music.
I really
I
like
like them sometimes. I
They're
like them.
good.
I like them listening to them in conjunction with like Passion Pit.
and Beach House.
Beach House is when I'm sad at 2 a.m. Because I'm such a
I
deep
think
person.
they're vibey as fuck. They're not sad enough for me.
Nah, I like Beach House though. Beach House is fire. I mean,
You
I have
got
a
the beach
poster of them.
house poster.
I have the poster. Yeah, I have
You
a
got the
poster of
beach
them.
house
Oh,
poster.
true.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh my god, dude. Beach House is like, I felt like, dude, seeing Beach House live at 3 Points, that was like crazy. I felt like the closest thing that like, I felt like I was in a church, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the
Like a
stage
New
was
Age
so
church.
bright. Stage was bright and like, yeah, dude. I don't know. Just imagining that dreaming shit. Just imagine like a bright stage, like a stage so bright that all you see is like the silhouette of a person playing a piano. You see like their facial features, and it's like beach house music. Y'all know what beach house sounds like.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like dead and like I went to heaven, bro.
Damn.
Like that's what you see when you die. You see that person playing like Bloom. Anyways, next topic. I feel like we went too.
I'll wrap up the episode with my experience of what's my worst gig ever. Back, it's probably gonna be another school one. I know we recorded one a bit and I said one thing, but think about it now. I never had an atrocious from like start to finish, like a terrible gig, but I remember like at my high school we have like an arts conservatory program where it's like there was like a high school and then there's like a kind of it was weird. We had like another separate high school, but it was too small of a program, like a conservatory program. So it was like drama, dance, art, and music were part of it. And so it was kind of like if you just like this is kind of like, oh, this is like the not the special kids, but it's just like the talented kids. So it was like you're chosen. There's an audition process. You got to do something. You get in.
I don't think you want to be part of the special kids, bro.
Oh, I don't care. I'm a special kid.
Hey, gifted.
I'm special.
Have you heard that I'm gifted? I'm gifted.
Oh no.
I love gifted kids.
Okay. I don't
Did you
want
hear
to.
that they're
I don't want to
gifted?
go. I don't want to go out of a dangerous territory.
Association.
But I was chosen to be gifted. No, I was part of the conservatory. I was part of the
Push the
conservatory,
forehead.
and what they did was we did this show every year. It was a conservatory show where like all the departments would come together. Because all the departments did their own thing, they would do their own competitions or their own shows or whatever. So this was the one time of the year where we can all 4 departments come together. So it's like all 4 teachers come together, create a show, and I remember like at the last we did one about, I forgot what it was, but it really doesn't matter. But because it was when I started playing bass, because I was playing trombone for like a while. And I was like, okay, this is the year I'm gonna. And this is when I graduated from high school. This was when I was a senior. I was sick of trombone. Like, all right, let me play bass. I really want to try out bass. So I learned bass, figured it out, and I played like the cheesiest songs, like the easiest song, like Highway to Hell, like Seven Nation Army,
Hell
stuff
yeah.
like that. stuff like that, just to understand, because I was
Dude,
trying to figuring
it's
out
standard based repertoire.
exactly, and I was trying to figure that out. And I did
Seven
Smells Like
Nation
Teen
Army is the
Spirit, stuff like
repertoire.
that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I had an idea where like I wanted to do like this halftime show, not halftime show, but like an intermission. I wanted to do like just rock covers because I was so into like this fantasy of playing in front of my high school. I'm playing like rock music. I was so into it. So I was like, okay, let me gather a couple people in the conservatory and let's do this. So it was kind of like I had two guitarists. It was my old drum major, who was sort of into it. But she was like, okay, I'll do it. I guess I don't know if she really wanted to do it. I guess she was just doing it just to be nice. But she was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then our other guitarist, Nicole, who I still talk to, she's actually in a band called Vertigo. They were trying to start doing shows, but coronavirus happened. So,
Yeah.
but it's really cool. She's really talented. She's the one who actually showed me Mastodon. So
Hey.
I owe her like, because that's like my favorite band like of all time. So I owe her like my entire like left leg or something, because it's like, holy crap, you up with my world. Well, there's other music out there, but Mastodon was another world realm. But anyway, she's a very important musician to me, and she's like, okay, cool, I'll do rhythm and for the songs. And then I had a drummer who just would, nothing against the guy, it's just you over drum for no reason. Like, dude, learn when to stop drumming. Like when the song ends, the song ends. Like, shush. So then there came this point where we were barely practiced. We practiced like 15 minutes every like, because this thing is like it's really hard. Like when you're in high school, it's like after school people pick up at certain times, and then like we always had band. Like band, we were always practicing for something. There was something for conservatory. There was some end of the year thing. There was always something to be practicing for, and everyone would be always so busy. So, and it was because the drummer and the guitarist were in band, and then my Nicole, my other guitarist, was from the art department. So it was kind of like, oh, cool, interesting. Because usually people did music, and people did dance. So it was just kind of cool, like, okay, cool, someone from a different department is doing this. So that's what I try to do. But we tried getting the rehearsals, and it was just like, it was okay, it was fine. We also didn't have a singer, so the guitarist had, like, the lead guitarist had to learn the vocal part, because no one could do singing. Like, we had like a choir thing, but no one wanted to do it. It's like, okay, this is what we had to do. So finally the show comes, the day of the show, and we practiced like maybe like 4 or 5 times, but it was barely enough. And I'm like running around, because I'm the one organizing this. So I have to run around, and the teachers they're not worried about that. They're worried about like 1,000 different things. So they get to the point where it's like, I finally talked to the person, I think it was the dance teacher who was ahead of this. She's like, hey, listen, if you want, just you set up the equipment, or your band sets up the equipment. And it was just like a couple of amps and the drums. That was it. It wasn't a big deal. We didn't need mics. We didn't need mics. We just played the song. That was it. So what they did was they said, okay, during intermission, the drama teacher will introduce you guys. You play your show, and that's it. And this is an intermission. People are buying snacks. People are just talking. That was it. I was like, that's fine. Better than nothing. So then we finally so the band just played a song, and the curtains closed. I'm like running around trying to grab everything. People are walking into me. It's like a show, and there's people behind. You have to be quiet in this entire thing. So it's like, imagine trying to get your band members together, trying to get all the equipment, and people are saying like, shh, into our voices, please. I'm like, I have to perform in 2 minutes, and we're not gonna sound good, so don't silencio me.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
Shut
I get
up,
it,
asshole.
but it's like, I get it. It was just like these, like those like annoying drama kids who like took it way too seriously in high school.
Yeah.
Like
like
I've
they're
acted,
fucking
like
That shit's like a
like
cult.
they're the fucking Duke of drama, dude.
right. It's like, oh, this is the next Julia. Like, no, you're performing like Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory, like
In a fucking
holy
high
shit.
school.
No, I was just
I performed it at Willy Wonka at fucking Wannado City, because we have a
yes.
theater.
Ah.
So our school rented out Wannado City.
I was
Bro,
robbed
that
of a
was
childhood.
shit. Yo, that's actually
I
a good
never went
podcast
to
episode.
Wannado City. I never
we'll
went.
talk.
No. It
Let me
was
finish this.
Willy Wonka. No, hold up.
It was Wonka bucks. That was the currency there.
There was one, yeah. But the thing we did there was Peter Pan. Peter Pan was hard.
Yeah, I remember there was that, and they did like a King Tut or something like that, some Egyptian play.
No, like it was our school. Like it was so. No, there was the King Tut shit, bro. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Uh-oh.
Right now, bro. Tell them
Time
like,
out.
about Wannado City. They're not gonna believe it. They're gonna think I'm making that shit up.
What do you
Like,
mean?
Entire city in the mall.
Oh, yeah.
And you could try out every single job. You know, wait, hold up, Javi. Do you know
What?
about Wannado City?
No.
He came to America like.
Okay,
Okay,
it's like
okay,
a little like
No,
fucking
it
little world for jits.
entire
Arcade.
4 kids built in the shopping mall right next to my house.
Yeah,
It was
it's
Sawgrass Mills. Yeah.
Right? And you could
Yep.
go, and you could. There was a
It
curve.
was like play adult.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like play adult for kids, and like there was
It
this
like
accident
gay
that
kids
happened,
now.
I
Remember that
think,
shit?
that basically shut the shit down. Yeah, like they
No, I
went out
thought
of
it was
business.
just. I thought they were running out of money. That's why they stopped.
I think that something happened that gave them bad publicity,
Oh,
and they
really?
ran out of money as a consequence.
They turn into fucking J.A. Biztown.
Yeah, because they were like, "Hey, my kid isn't safe in that shit, so like I
Right.
might as well not take him there."
I live yeah, I remember that. Now it's like when I go to the mall, it's like
If I remember
it's just new, it's just more stores. That's all it is in its place.
Yeah. But it was from what I remember as a kid.
We
Absolutely
live in a society.
Yeah.
It was what?
It was vast. It was insane. I couldn't.
was.
From what I hear, it sounds like you walk in there and it's like the entire like a fucking small
there's
Civ
3
5 map.
story buildings
Like
in
that's
that
the size of it.
Dude,
Like,
it was fun. That shit was so fun.
Yeah.
once you enter there, it's like a different dimension. Like
We gotta
50
do
yards, 50
let me
yards.
I want to finish. Let me finish my story. Then I want to do a new episode and just Wannado City, honestly, because I haven't thought about that in a minute. But
it has a lot of connotations.
dude, I have some stories of Wannado City, which is funny. But I'll
Fuck
finish
bitches
this.
at Wannado City.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought I had shit to tell.
No,
Pierre
no,
has
I'm
no,
playing.
it's just fucking-
I went to Dandy Bear, bro.
Hmm?
I haven't even heard of that. What is it?
Teddy bear? Like build a bear?
Build a
Oh,
bear, yeah.
Build a Bear. Oh, I heard Honey Bear. I go, what's Honey Bear?
Fucking Pierre for us again.
I remember when I got dragged into one of those.
Oh, I've done that before. It's not bad. It's fun.
I mean, it's just like I didn't know why we were going to the mall. And then it ended up being to build a bear.
But anyway, let me finish my story. Then we'll close this out. So I finally am like running around the place trying to get my instruments, trying to like, get all my equipment and everything. And then we finally set our equipment, and we did like 6 covers. We did like we started with Smells Like Teen Spirit, then we did Seven Nation Army, we did Ender Sandman, then we did like the basic covers.
The staples.
We did the staples. That's all we did. What was the
The
other?
one that you
We
looked up on
did-
Songster.
We did one more. What was the other song we did? I forgot the other one, but then we ended it with Everlong, which actually, you know what, it actually sounded pretty cool, and people were into it. But
I forgot that song existed.
it's a great
Forgot
song.
Foo
It's a
Fighters
banger.
existed.
Wait, which one? is
The thing about Foo Fighters is that all their
Oh.
singles are great, but the rest of the album isn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you finished with
But-
Everlong.
So I remember we did the song, and people were sort of into it because like, oh, it's your boy playing music, finally doing it, and then people were like, people loved it, but like, there was a point where like, we didn't know when to come in together, that we started word together, and I was just like, and the drama teacher was like introducing us, and then half the people were interested, and like my mom and dad were watching me, and they were like, okay, that's fine, and then. I remember what was it? We did "Smells Like Teen Spirit." That was fine, and then like the guitarist played Kurt Cobain, Kurt Cobain's.
Kurt Vonnegut, nice bass.
Kurt Vonnegut, yes. Slaughterhouse 5 made a great cameo. No,
Dude.
so
Slapstick.
they did that. Yeah.
Bro, Kurt Vonnegut is Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh,
The
my
greatest
God.
fucking punk band name. That's
Oh,
better
for sure.
Oh, wow.
Catch 22. So they finally so we finally went to like we did like Seven Nation, that was fine. Then we did Enter Sandman, and that was terrible. The drummer kept like over drumming everything. Like he was literally Lars Ulrich in the making. That was Lars
That's so
Ulrich
great.
2.0. Like listen, I'm nothing against the man. It's just that dude, like no one to
No,
stop playing.
I have things against Lars. I'll say it.
I have a lot of things against
Lars-
Lars.
No, I meant my drummer. I meant like the guy I was drumming with that day. Like
Oh,
Lars,
okay.
I don't care about Lars. But yeah, then that was it, and the people were sort of into it. Then we did Everlong, it was fine. It was just one of those things where it's like I'm glad I did it because it's like you learn a lot. Also, it's my first gig ever that I did. I kept fucking up my bass parts. I was just learning how to do it. I did not know how to now I have a better knowledge of how to be in a band. Back then I had no idea how it was like. You just play the songs, that was it. You just play your favorites, that was it. So that was kind of like it could have been a lot worse, but it could have been a lot better. So it was just a situation practicing everything and what was going on. And we also had we had another show to do. So it was just like it was fun, but I learned a lot from it. So I mean, that's it for me. So
I feel you though about the drummer. You were saying like he just like was showing off too much. I hate it when drummers like
Bro.
unnecessarily show off, and it's like, bro, we get it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I don't
One
know.
of the drummers for the Wave. I won't say his name.
like
His
if you're
name
doing
shall not be spoken. But
I
Jesus
understand,
Christ.
Bro. The music,
I
did, bro. The music. Did.
I understand if it's like this amazing emotional moment where like let's say like people you got like let's say you guys were playing the Cashmere or something like that, and it was towards the end and like Erica was like just in it, like okay, that's your moment to shine. But when you're trying to end the freaking song, I'm not saying you're gonna do this, but like when a drummer just like when the song is over, silencio, stop playing, like you're done,
Dude.
like
Unless
just
you're
stop
actually
playing.
Neil
For
Peart.
real. Dude, unless you're Neil Peart and you're literally just transitioning to the next song.
Damn.
Right. If you're Neil Peart or
That's
John
it.
Bonham, do what the fuck you want. If like you do, well, yeah, like it's.
But you're not.
Like it's, but they know when to stop playing. Like it's just, But
Yeah, that's
anyway,
what,
I think
that's what made them so great.
That's true because they know how to stop playing.
Yeah, dude.
All right, we should probably end this episode actually, but
Yeah.
thanks guys for joining me on this interesting journey. Thank you guys for listening out there. You guys know where to follow us, and keep on the lookout for I'm gonna probably fuck this up again. Corazon Louis, finish that off for me. Corazon
Rabioso.
There you go. All right. So be sure to follow them on Instagram and everything, on Spotify and all this stuff. And they have a new album coming out soon. I'm very excited to hear them out. So thanks, guys, for joining. And thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for more.
I love you. Bye.
All right.
Ow.
Thank you.